How do England win Euro 2020? Well, the chance is there to be taken with the attacking talent we see in Grealish, Foden, Sancho, Rashford, Harry Kane, the top goal scorer and assister in the Premier League. I'll be looking in depth on how they can fit into different formations, and stats are a big thing in picking a team, which is why OneFootball is a fantastic app to look at players' performances. A player who I believe can grip the nation is Jack Grealish. The creativity, entertainment he can bring, creating for Kane. He had 10 assists this season. On the app we can also see his 65 touches a match, which I'm sure will be similar, if not more, for the England team. Most crucial is the dribbling ability, 65 successful dribbles in the Premier League. And what really stands out with Jack Grealish is the 110 fouls won. That is massive for England. To keep up to date with everything surrounding Euro 2020, the latest news, league tables, the live scores, download OneFootball, the link is in the description. To find a combination and a balance with all these players is tricky, but that depth that England have is a great reason why they can do well. A key aspect even, which we will discuss in more detail. Where England aren't so stacked with top quality players is in defence. The centre-backs are good, but once you lose your first choice, then you're choosing from fringe players or youngsters with no experience. It's the reason why we see Southgate being cautious in his game plan as he tries to answer the question, how do we keep more than the one clean sheet we had in the 2018 World Cup, which is something we will analyse. You see, in the last 4 Euro competitions, the winners have only conceded a combined 1 goal in the knockout stages, and that was Portugal in 2018. So it's clear that most importantly, creating a foundation, a reliable base in the midfield and defence is crucial. And it's something that England have been lacking. So how can England do that? Your key players to execute this are Harry Maguire and John Stones. If they're in the side, then you line up with the back four, which then allows England to put more men in the midfield to defend higher up the pitch. It means England can play on the front foot, aggressive in midfield, and they feel stronger and more confident to press the opposition due to their reliable teammates in the defence behind them. In the midfield, you're either looking at one defensive midfielder and 2 central midfielders who are good at pressing, have a good balance of being disciplined out of possession and contribute to the attack. In this formation, you'd see the right back being a little more cautious with how they attack. Kyle Walker or Reece James are more well-rounded players to choose from. Or alternatively, you have 2 defensive midfielders, an attacking midfielder in front of them, and this allows both the fullbacks to be very attacking minded. You can then pick from Trent or Trippier to come in at right back and they can influence the attack. Now there is probably not a set formation here that you go with in every game. You could have the 4-3-3 to be more attacking against a lesser opposition, let's say Czech Republic in the group stage, and the 4-2-3-1 to be stronger in defence but to still give you a good platform to attack as you enter the knockout stages. This all comes back to your centre backs though. If Harry Maguire isn't fit, it suddenly becomes harder to have a centre back pairing which is trustworthy to give England the strength it needs in a back four. However, news is looking better on Harry Maguire's fitness, so let's imagine he is fit and this gives England the best chance of winning matches. So what makes the 4-3-3 a winning formation for England? At defensive midfield, you have to look at Declan Rice as the player to give England the defensive stability in the midfield after being one of the best interceptors of the ball in the Premier League. The only doubt here is that Rice played in a midfield 2 at West Ham this season, so could maybe prefer playing in a 4-2-3-1. In the 4-3-3, however, you could then potentially have Bellingham and Mount who both suit this role well, especially Mason Mount. If England are to reach the final and win the Euros, Mount will be a massive part of that, at the core of the team, making things tick with the energy that he brings covering all the pitch. With Bellingham, you have a really young player, but he shows such maturity in his performances, and he shows it at the highest level too, in the Champions League for Dortmund and for England during their games this year. Out of possession, you've got 2 players centrally who can press high, close down in the wide areas with the wingers, and still have trust in the defensive midfielder behind them. It allows England to be a team that control the game and put the opposition under constant pressure, which can lead to mistakes being made for the team to finish. In possession, they can both operate higher up the pitch with the strong base being Rice, Maguire and Stones, and they can roam in the wide areas to play quick passes with the wingers or overlapping fullbacks as they both have good technical ability. Mount, being more of a creator, will have the license to be a player in the box, also looking to score goals in dangerous areas where Bellingham will be a little more disciplined in his positioning. In the wide areas, well, take your pick really. Grealish on the left, Sancho on the right, Rashford on the left, Foden on the right. There doesn't have to be a best combination, as all these players should be used throughout the competition. This gives England the best chance of winning, and that's without even mentioning Raheem Sterling, who I'm sure will play a big part in Southgate's squad. The reasoning behind these 2 combinations, however, is that they both give a balance of a player focused on creating and the other an eye for goal. I think this is what England need, another player who is hungry for goals as well as creating chances, else you're becoming very reliant on Harry Kane's finishing ability and for him to score all the goals. With Grealish and Sancho, it means Grealish on the left will roam and come narrower, allowing Shaw to overlap, which he's done so well for Manchester United. With Jack Grealish in the side, I really do think England step up a level in quality with how much he'll influence the play, as well as create chances linking up with Harry Kane and his demand of wanting the ball as often as possible where England can win fouls in dangerous areas. He can be a game changer for England and a player England fans will love to watch with the entertainment he can bring. The 4-2-3-1 could see Rice alongside another defensive midfielder, maybe Henderson or Phillips. This allows England to make the space compact in the middle, with the attacking midfielder doing a lot of the pressing and looking to attack teams on the counter. It's where you could see your very attacking fullbacks, Trent, coming into the side and be allowed to take up high positions as the defensive midfielders can cover for him. With the pace you can have with Rashford or Sterling making runs, it's where you could see early passes being made. The downside to this setup is that you're almost allowing teams to come onto you and you're inviting a lot of pressure, where I personally think England have the ability to be more on the front foot. Playing with 3 centre-backs and 2 midfielders may allow you to have a better balance of a stronger defence, making it difficult for the opposition but having good outlets to attack. With Rice and Mount as your midfielders, you've got a defensive midfielder alongside a player who wants to press and cover the pitch. As well as your fullbacks being able to close the space higher on the flanks, you've still got cover from the wide centre-backs who can shift over into these open spaces. Gaining possession and looking to attack might become a little easier from the midfielders stretching out the play with the ball over to the wing-backs who will then link up with the wingers. This is where you can get your triangles out wide with Mason Mount joining the winger and the wing-back, as these players would pass around and look to create a chance in the wide areas. This formation can be seen as defensive, but there is definitely ways that it positively affects the attack as you play out from the back. Now the next thing is the key aspect to England going all the way in Euro 2020. Using the depth in the squad and the many different ways the team can be set up has to be used to England's advantage. There is going to be matches where Grealish, Foden, Sancho, Rashford and more are on the bench, and as annoying as it can be when the lineup is announced, in the long run this is a good thing. For example, if England started with a 4-2-3-1 but feel we need a bit more in attack, we need to take a risk, then looking to switch to a 4-3-3, maybe Foden coming central if he was out wide and Sancho coming on for a defensive midfielder is a perfect change to make. England give themselves the best chance in Euro 2020 by doing this, having multiple setups of the team where you're making use of the best qualities in players. The 4-3-3 with Bellingham and Mount to utilise their pressing, well-rounded ability and energy is a great example. The back 5 to get the best from the creativity in your fullbacks linking up with Foden or Sancho as well as crosses into Kane. A 4-3-3 again with Grealish either on the left or possibly central to get the best of his qualities covering all areas in the final third, and having set scenarios of players that can come off the bench in the right moment is needed, as that's where you get the best from the depth England have in the attack. Get involved in the comments with your England first 11s and please like the video if you did enjoy, it's very much appreciated. Subscribe to Route 1 for more England Euro analysis.